Thanks God, at least Australia, after many, many days, gave good immigration news. I was waiting when Australia will wake up, and this is the time Australian government wake up and they gave a very positive immigration news. There are three immigration news which I will share in this clip, and I will also tell New Zealand opening another visa, and New Zealanders definitely are inviting overseas in their country for 90 days stay. And who can stay in New Zealand, that I will also tell you. In this clip I will also explain which two professions Australia need desperately. It's not a common news, it's not simple news. It's the news at top level. Prime Minister of Australia shared a dinner with professional people and told, and now the top professionals of Australian, top minister of Australian government explained that which two professions are required and endorsed by the Prime Minister of Australia. These are very positive news. Another news, the processing time of one category automatically decrease. This is another good news, but some bad news also. But I think bad news almost nothing as compared to the good news in this clip. I will explain all these informations in this clip. My name is Irfan Ashraf. Thank you very much for listening my channel, and hopefully you will subscribe, like and share with analysis, prediction, consultancy. All the immigration news is available 24 hours. World top countries, immigration analysis, news, consultancy, and especially the prediction with true facts. This is the problem in the social media. The facts are little bit hypothetical. This channel will provide you actual, genuine information. So, without wastage of the time, go back to the topic of today. I will start, first of all, which two professions are desperately required by Australia, and Australia is giving compensation. It means that Australia is making these two professional people to come to Australia and work in Australia in a very simple way. Their processing, their registration is going to decrease. This is very positive news for health professionals and another professionals, engineers. One by one I will explain what actually happened. One news and then second news for other profession. Australian Prime Minister shared a dinner with engineers, and when engineers were talking with Australian Prime Minister that we have huge shortage of engineers in Australia, the Australian Prime Minister endorsed and he told, I have all news of shortage of engineers and we are making a system to invite overseas engineers at the biggest level. So engineers from Asia, engineers from United Kingdom, engineers from the Europe, engineers of all categories from the New Zealanders, be ready to move to Australia. Australia PM is talking to you. It's not common news, it's a biggest news. Now, Australian Health Minister explained in an interview that we are calling nurses. We are feeling shortage of nurses. We are facing shortage of immense. Used word desperately. It means that there is a huge shortage of nurses in Australia. He cut the red tape. What does this mean? Because Australia put the nurses in a difficult situation to come from overseas. And what was the main difficulty? The main difficulty was the registration. When nurses want to work in Australia, 12 months almost required to register in Australia. And when you will not register yourself in Australia, you will not be able to work in Australia. Now what happened? This is the biggest breaking news for the nurses throughout the world. Australia is demanding nurses, and they announced that they are decreasing registration time from the 1 year to the 6 months. It's biggest news. Now nurses definitely will reduce their time of registration, and their processing time will also decrease to work in Australia. So immigration of nurses and engineers, Australian top government professionals including Prime Minister confirmed, yes, we are giving special relaxation compensation to these two professionals with evidences I have told. Now go back to another New Zealander, a very good offer, a very good offer of New Zealand to overseas individual. New Zealand finally started digital nomad visa. What a way to start. It's the first top developed country. I think this is the first until Canada was offering a digital nomad, but that digital nomad was not going by digital nomad name. There was no category. They were entering Canada on tourist visa, and they were switching into digital nomad inside Canada. But New Zealand is directly inviting applications from the overseas digital nomad. If you are digital nomad and you fulfill the requirements, your earning is at threshold level, you are very eligible to enter New Zealand. You can stay in New Zealand for 90 days. You can work there, and this is extendable visa. So New Zealand is giving a very good relaxation to the digital nomad. Earlier, digital nomads were only required in Europe. Portugal, and European countries started digital nomad. Now, one developed country, New Zealand, offered a very good offer to the overseas digital nomad workers, even from developing countries. A lot of people from the developing countries are working online because they think that online work is easier one, and they can earn dollars in a bigger amount because dollars in their country have high financial values. So this is the biggest news. Another news: processing time of Australian Immigration Department. Processing time of Australian Immigration Department. There is one bad news and there is one good news. The good news is that spouse visas of the Australia processing time suddenly decreased. If you are a spouse and you are applying for spouse visa to Australia, this is good news for you. Australian Immigration Department in this month decreased the processing time of the spouse visas. Many spouse visas are throughout the world are decided according to Australian immigration website. Their days taken on spouse visas are decreased as compared to the standard level. And another little bit, this is not bad news, this is not good news, I will say this is a transitional news, that the Australia 491 and all other work visas, their time, processing time is not decreased. I mean, that will be at same level. Another news for New Zealand and Australian Immigration Department: Australia still need lot of New Zealanders to work in Australia. You remember Australia offered New Zealanders to work in Australia. There was special programs made by Australian Immigration Department, and they relaxed requirements for immigration to Australia just for New Zealand. A lot of New Zealand came to Australia. They got citizenship of Australia. This is a straightforward citizenship of Australia. Australian spokesperson told this experience to give citizenship of New Zealanders was very good. We professionally escalated our economy by inviting New Zealand. And he also told that the professional people coming throughout the countries, throughout the world into the Australia but the New Zealanders found more professional than other countries as compared to the Asian, Africans, and European professional people. I think this is a very good opportunity for New Zealand nationals. Even you are Asian, Africans, or you are European, there is no any discrimination. You are black, you are white, you are just New Zealand national. It's very biggest news, and it's a very good opportunity if you want to switch your citizenship to Australia. Another news is that New Zealanders did not reply much to Australian offers, and numbers of the New Zealanders who shifted to Australia, as Australian Immigration Department was expecting, is quite less. And the analysis of less numbers of New Zealand acceptance of Australian immigration offer, I think that New Zealand status is almost same as Australian status. Why people migrate from one country to another country? To earn more money, to increase the lifestyle, to get more facilities. And that's why especially you will find more people moving to developed countries from Asian and Africans. Maximum people move from Mexico, from Africans country, from Asian countries, from even China. It's more developed country, but salary, the economy is still under process in China. China is a developed country, but as compared to the workers, they think their salary, their wages, their facilities, and their citizenship chances are more in developed countries. I know it's time to see New Zealanders how much more New Zealand apply for this Australian immigration, a glittering offer. Thank you very much for listening my channel. Thank you very much.